All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to catch Ted, a.k.a. the Tedican, live in concert.
Saturday night's all right for
Is that?
crocodile rock.
That's all he got. Hey guys, Yomar here. I'm in front of America's Mart, Atlanta, building number 2. I'm here with John. That's your girlfriend, right? Over there, Leanne. Leanne? Leanne?
Yeah.
All right. But it's a little crazy. Little disgruntled fans here and there. We're still having fun, but you know, especially people that came last year. The general consensus is last year was all access. It felt like you were getting your money's worth, and now it feels like they're nickel and diming everyone. So this is kind of like the burning question, you know, is it really a fan event or is it just a money grab? I'm not gonna make a decision on that. I'll leave that up to you. But off the top of your head, John, what has been your experience overall?
It's just been an all-around amazing experience. It's just been something I've always dreamed of doing, and you know, thanks to the guys that put it on, it was actually able to come true. So I can't thank them enough. It's been a total humbling and just surreal experience overall.
And so you didn't go to the last year's, right?
This is my first convention ever.
First convention ever?
Ever, like,
dude.
Yeah.
So that's huge. All right, yeah. That's a whole different experience because when you go to a lot of conventions, you can kind of soften up the blow because you can afford to go a lot of them. I don't know how people do it. I mean, you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars at a shot. So this is your first convention.
It's first ever.
So this is a good one to start with, I would say.
I did it the right way, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to a few the vendors that have been in the circuit and conventions for a long time, and the old school people will tell you that, you know, when it started off, it was all about the fans, and it wasn't so much about nickel and diamond. They said the worst you'd see is like $5 for a photo, and then you get a free autograph.
I mean, I understand, like, they do this pretty much every day, even if it's not a convention, they get surrounded by people. But I mean, like, I guess you can kind of say it's a fan and money grabber. Like,
same time?
It's like same time. Maybe a little half and half mix of each, I don't know. Because the prices are a little, I mean, they're up there, but
they are. I think right now, like Dragon Con, someone was telling me that it's like $120 a head, and that's just general admission.
Wow.
So to put it in perspective,
yeah, some comparisons.
And the organizer of that event, he just monetizes everything he can. You want to breathe next to this person? Hey, we're gonna charge you for that.
It's ridiculous.
What do you think about when you first went to the website? Did you booked online, right, like everybody else?
Absolutely.
So, because showing up here and just buying tickets, that's a little brave and maybe a little crazy. But you could do that. But when you looked at the pricing, you saw the VIP stuff. What were your like immediate impressions?
Thought it was maybe a little steep, but if it's VIP and all the things you get with it, I thought it was worth it. It's all the amenities, pros, so definitely pricey but worth it.
Do you feel like this is a warm experience, like you're really immersed in the whole universe?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
absolutely.
So you're happy. That's good.
Yeah, it's like a Walking Dead heaven.
now, I'm not gonna put you on the spot. You just before we started recording and putting everything, all our thoughts on the record, you mentioned a bad experience. I'm not gonna ask you to mention that because I know it's, you don't want to put it. I get it. You don't want to put the event in a bad light.
Yeah, I don't want to talk bad about this at all.
But it's been mostly positive.
Absolutely.
And you're happy, you're smiling, having a good time. I think at the end of the day, that's what matters. I mean,
anything in life, you're going to have some pros and cons. So, I mean, life and everything's all about perspective and what you make of it. Yeah, it's not the funnest waiting around for hours upon hours, but when you finally get your turn, it's definitely worth it. No doubt.
I love hearing that kind of sentiment. There's so many salty people online, and it's like,
I feel terrible for the dudes who put this on. They just point fingers at them like it's their fault. I mean, for Christ's sakes, the dudes put this together for us to all come and enjoy. Like, let's just be thankful that it's here and that we have the privilege to attend it. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. That's the key word is privilege.
It's a privilege to be here. It really is, man. It truly is.
I mean, these stars are taking time off of, Walking Dead, whatever projects they're doing. They may be leaving other tours and stuff,
Andrew Lincoln does it all out of his free time, and all his money goes back to charity. I have the utmost respect for that, man. I even told him that yesterday. I thanked him, and I told him I realized, like, you did this out of your personal time, and I couldn't thank him enough. He was still so humble, and he thanked me. It's like, there's no reason to thank me. Like, thank you. That's why I'm here. But it was awesome.
I love hearing those kind of stories. So let's see what else we can discuss here. 'Cause we got deep before we started recording. And I'm like, man, we should have captured this. This is the good stuff. But so would you come back again?
Oh, absolutely. Already planning on coming back next year.
Would you be coming to this location or another venue?
Walker Stalker.
The Atlanta?
Atlanta. Yeah.
All right. This is the flagship. But do you think though they should adjust their pricing? Maybe like what would you think? If, I'm not trying to bait you, but
Oh no, you're fine.
what would you think if maybe they had different levels for the autographs? Because think about it, like you got how many autographs did you get?
Honestly, at least 14. Purchased at least 14 autographs.
Man, 14. So you're spending at least $40 a pop, and then
More, yeah.
and not more because some they have different higher price ones for the bigger stars.
Bigger, yeah.
And then you got to pay money on top of that if you don't have your own picture. You have a whole book though.
Yeah.
I wish I was taking video. You guys got to see this book. He has epic. it's got so many awesome little pictures in there and all signed, all neatly put in there. This guy was prepared for his first convention. I've never seen someone so prepared. He's even better prepared than me, and I'm media. That's kind of sad. But
Tried my best.
what was your favorite encounter so far with the stars?
Oh God. That's the question of the day right there. I'm gonna have to say Andrew Lincoln, man. Like he was, like I really wanted to come no matter what, but when I heard he was announced, I bought tickets, took that gamble of maybe getting a chance to meet him. So I'd say Andrew Lincoln.
Awesome. Yeah, he's got like a nice energy to him. Like he feels like he's the kind of guy that
he's so humble and relaxed and just he's so nice. One of the coolest, nicest people I've ever met.
Norman Reedus seems like he's on the same level too.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely,
humble.
absolutely.
So would you say that perhaps maybe if managers weren't involved and it was more of the stars setting the rules, it may be a little more laid back and maybe a little more immersive? It's the magical word, immersive. I'm just keep saying that, immersive.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like things might get too chaotic if that was the case. But
okay, yeah.
I mean, from a fan perspective, that'd be terrific. But overall, with
not realistic.
And like you have to wait so long as it is for one autograph. You know, if you kind of had an unlimited amount or could just free will do what you want. I mean. God, I don't think we'd ever make it out of here, to be honest.
That's true. We might have to make it a week long event.
Yeah.
Now, fun fact for those that are listening in, and for John as well. I don't know if you heard Eric and James talking about the history of the event, but it started off as just a fan meetup.
Yeah.
And then they said they were only expecting like 1,000 people.
Yep.
Ended up being like 25,000 people, and now I think this weekend they've had over 65,000 people.
I was wondering how many were here this weekend.
That's big. I mean, Dragon Con gets like 95,000, around there. So it's growing so fast. It's only in the second year.
I know, man. Like, it's just going to get bigger from here. I mean, there's no going back now. It's not like they're going to downsize it at all.
Yeah. So I'm happy to hear that because it's so easy to get mad at the frustrating aspects. Like me as media, like usually they have assigned areas for media, and it's been like fit in where you can go in, but you can't go there, you can't go there, you can't go there, and it's rough. And we're trying to cover it so we can make more people aware of it and share that passion. But we're also fans.
Absolutely.
So
that's probably the biggest and only con is the organization. Like there's pros and cons to everything, and like I said, I don't want to talk bad about this place at all because it's like a Walking Dead paradise. But
it is.
It really is. Only con is the organization, like with lines and stuff. I think if it was just a slightly more organized, it'd be flawless.
Now, do you listen to podcasts?
Yeah.
Check out, I have 2 shows, but one that you'll definitely like is Timey-Wimey Tea Time. It's dedicated to sci-fi, horror, zombies.
Cool.
We're predominantly Doctor Who. You like Doctor Who?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Awesome. And the other show is Once Play Live. Just look us up. It's Geeky Antics Network.
Okay.
We're on YouTube, we're on Stitcher, iTunes, all that stuff. You'll find that stuff. But let's go. I think we should go around.
Word,
we should go around and ask everybody else what they're feeling.
Don't let me steal the show.
Would you guys like to add some of your thoughts for a podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, she wants to. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Leanne? You still down? Or did you get it out of your system?
I ranted enough.
You ranted enough?
Yeah.
Rants are fine. Rents are fine. So
It's not a rent, it's disappointment.
disappointment.
I'm very
so you're
disappointed.
on the contrast because this is your second time to the event. So number one thing that bothers you the most about it?
The disorganization. They oversold and they kept overselling. There was no reason for it to be this unorganized and this chaotic.
And what's your name, by the way?
April,
I'm Yomar.
nice to meet you.
This is for Geeking Antics Network, and we're on YouTube and everywhere. So you'll see it up on it'll probably just be on the podcast. So if you do iTunes, Stitcher, the show they'll probably be on is Timey-wimey Tea Time. I have a bunch of podcasts. I'll put it in where I can fit it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So lack of organization. You feel like they're nickel and diming people a lot.
I feel like they bent everybody over backwards. I feel like they took every single opportunity to sponge every single dollar from people any way they could. They threw us all in here. They kept bringing people together, and it's been nothing but chaotic. Last year it went off without a hitch. Great experience. This time it's been too much work. This is supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to have people barking orders at you. You're not supposed to have to wait in line for.
Thank you so much, John. We'll bump into each other.
I understand that people cancel, things happen. I get that. But because they oversold and they kept overselling, you shouldn't have to wait in line for 4 hours for something that you're supposed to wait in line maybe for 45 minutes for. Even something as small as the lanyards.
Yeah.
They knew how many people were coming. Why were they not prepared?
ran out, yeah.
And every time you ask somebody, you get a different story. That's because nobody knows what's going on. Instead of volunteers, why don't they hire some people who know what's going on? Get
So that the
orders from the
information
top.
get disseminated better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're not coming back next year. That's how bad it was.
It's that bad?
Huge Walking Dead fans.
Oh man.
Huge con fans. I love it. We go any opportunity we can, any con. Last year was awesome. Because of our experience this year, we're not coming back. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It is a waste of money.
What other conventions have you gone to?
We go to horror conventions. We go to the one in Pittsburgh all the time, Horror Realm. Mad Monster started now, so we go to Mad Monster, come to Charlotte, go to Pittsburgh. We wanted this to be every year. No more. Not coming back.
Yep, not
Are y'all
coming back.
local?
We're from Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Oh, so you had to travel a bit too.
Yeah.
It's only 4 hours.
It's only 4 hours.
It's an easy drive.
It's still a bad enough drive if you're tired.
It's a good
We're not
drive
coming
if
back.
it was like last year. We're not coming back because of this year.
No, keep
We're
the
not
money
coming
for
back.
something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes me sad. She's making sad face.
I get where you're coming from.
We're not coming
It was
back.
chaotic.
I'm recording, by the way. You might want to comment
I'm
too.
sorry that it was your first year because last year was
Great.
awesome.
We had a good
This year has
time.
been a pain in the ass.
And the pictures were way cooler. The group
Here's
picture
another problem. Because
sucked.
they herd people in so quickly, we didn't have a problem with our photo after it was taken. People in front of us, people behind us, you had people not looking. Before you even get up to the picture, they're bringing you in so quickly. They snap pictures with people's eyes closed. People are sneezing in the middle of the shot.
Oh,
You got
gosh.
people's heads in front of the celebrity heads so you can't even see them.
Last year's picture.
It's bad. It's poor planning and it's disorganization.
And it was cheap.
Not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. And I'm a huge fan. I love this kind of thing. But I can't justify spending the money and going through this kind of frustration.
Who would you say is at fault? If you had to,
The planners.
the event organizers?
Absolutely. Absolutely, of course they are. Because they oversold.
Hey, you.
There's no reason, if this place opens at 10 o'clock on a Saturday, there's no reason that there should still be a line to get in at 11:30.
I think
We already had our passes because we checked in Friday, so it's okay. But it just shows that it's poor planning. You got, and I understand, it's bigger this year. A lot of people didn't know about it this year. But if you got 17 million people on the Nielsen ratings, you better prepare for an influx of people coming in from everywhere. And
I mean, this is essentially the definitive Walking Dead
of course it is.
event. So yeah, you're right. 17 million. They're gonna get a chunk of that. I mean, people came from Australia, Brazil, the UK. So imagine them. If they have to deal with all that.
I keep telling everybody that says this is their first con, I feel bad for them.
Oh man.
Because they don't know what it was like last year. Because it went so smoothly. Not doing it again. I hate it. I made a lot of friends here. And it's not the volunteers' fault, but we talked to somebody who works with the Walker Con for an hour last night. She kept blaming the volunteers. It's not the volunteers' fault. It's the people who organize the events. Don't blame it on the volunteers. Don't pass the buck. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed. We were told last night it was your fault.
Yeah, it is your fault. Yeah, but
Somebody who works with the WalkerCon said it's the volunteers' fault that it was like this. Yeah. So they're throwing you guys under the bus.
they're saying it's your fault.
They're saying it's your fault.
Not yours personally. Anybody.
The volunteers. They're blaming it all on the volunteers.
Yeah, y'all the one that did crap.
April, one last question.
Yes.
I know.
If you got a letter of apology, either mailed to you directly or done through social media, and they recognize those issues and shared an action plan on how they can make it better, no excuses, like just owning it, would you consider coming back?
I would consider it, but I don't think it's going to happen because before we came down here, I was on the WalkerCon thread that's on Facebook, and I was voicing my I was upset. I wasn't being mean, but I was like, hey, listen, you know, they take this money from you, they do this and this. I understand. This is a business. You're making money. Even people who are running the convention got on the thread and basically told me, well, if you don't like it, don't come.
He's got his Lakers on.
Those are the fans or the organizers?
Both. That's not what I want to hear.
See, folks, you got to keep positive on social media. You know, if it's not something you'll tell someone face to face, don't put it online.
It's not about that. I mean, we're given hard-earned money.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear if you don't like it, don't come.
Yeah.
I want to hear, well, what can we do to make it better for you?
Yeah.
What can we do to make things run more smoothly? What can we do to better organize?
What can we do to bring you back next year?
Yeah, not if you don't like it, don't come. Well, guess what? We're not coming.
We're not coming.
Yeah, even if you're local, there's still an investment of time and money. You're not wrong in having the expectations. So I feel you. It's interesting to see such stark contrast in the opinions. But again, the difference is this is your second one, so you have a certain. That's at the level.
Told by someone who works with the con. I guess one was Toronto last week, a couple weeks ago. I don't know. Even she was completely disillusioned. She said, "You should have seen Toronto." My term is clusterfuck. Her term was completely disorganized, worse than this. Well, if there's something that was worse than this, I can't imagine. So we're not coming back, dude.
Toronto was worse?
Yeah.
That's a major city too.
There's already some.
And they're Canadians. Canadians are really nice. And she said that they were like getting vicious.
She
and
said they
attacking
started
them.
rioting.
We all know how Canadians are real passive and nice.
Yeah.
She said that it got so bad, and I mean, there should be no reason that the police are called to the con. Did you see the police last night?
Was that because of that? The convention at the West End?
People were getting upset.
No, that was here.
It was both places. It was the West End and here. They had 4 cops beside Norman Reedus.
See, I saw them rush. It was like around 9 o'clock last
were
night, right?
They were the West End too.
They came in. I thought it was some kind of like murder or something crazy.
No, people are just frustrated. And if you don't have anything to compare it to, if this is your first convention, you're probably excited. You got your adrenaline running. You're excited to meet the stars and everything. That's cool, but I can tell you, last year
It was much better. We set out
complete stark contrast.
in the parking lot with some of those Walking Dead actors. Yes,
Well,
we did.
They're fine.
I know.
It's the people who organize this.
Yeah, I think the actors, if they can have it their way, it'd be fan access all the way.
But I mean, and I understand that you got to make money. I get that. But you know what? I want to feel like that I got my money's worth.
It's a delicate balance.
And instead, I feel like that I was just bent over every direction. Every direction.
See,
And told if you don't like it, don't come back.
And the gentleman I just talked to, he had 14 autographs, so you know he invests a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So,
You
14.
don't get something for nothing, I get that. But it's the way that it's been put together. And I'm very, very disappointed, very disappointed. No, it's not. You know, I mean, they're doing their job too, and I know they're tired. You know, they didn't want to be here 5 extra hours last night, but they had to because
Oh, it got extended last night?
it didn't get extended because they kept overselling. See, they didn't take into account not just the people who bought online, but you got people who come off the cuff. They're like, oh, well, let's go to the... So then when these people come and they do the cash-only sales, what do you think's going to happen? To the people that have already... Exactly. It's like a flight. You get there and they're like, oh, the flight's overbooked. That's the only thing that I can kind of liken it to, is that they overbooked the flight. A lot. Yeah.
Some heavy thoughts there from April. April, I'm probably gonna do a write-up on this and kind of get into those issues. I would like to see what your comments are, so we get some constructive discussion. Maybe it'll get their attention.
Be constructive. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say, well, blah 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 blah. But I'm going to tell you I'm disappointed, and because of what happened this year, we're not coming back, and that's disappointing to me because I like this place. I like to have fun, but I can't go through this again. And I can't see that it's going to be any better because I feel like they're only out for the money. I don't feel like it really has anything to do with fans and fan appreciation. I feel like it's let's make a buck any way we can.
You know, I will say I enjoy the event. I like Eric and James, and the actors are phenomenal, especially when you catch people off venue. But as media, it's been a little rough because we're kind of being thrown around, and it's like an afterthought. And I can see the sentiment. Like, it feels like it's just whoever's paying the most.
I feel like it's a cattle call. I feel like we've been pushed in and just kicked on down through the rows because that's all they did. And I understand you got a lot of people, so you got to pull them through. You got to do it quickly. There should be no reason that people are yelling at you when you're walking in to get your photo.
Yeah, that's just bad manners, bad customer service.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And I'm ready to go. I don't even want to go back in.
Wow.
And I'm the easiest going person on the planet.
Well, I could tell that you seem like a very happy person. You're smiling. Folks, you can't see that. I'm not doing video right now, but she's smiling. Her demeanor is very calm. I mean, some people in a situation might punch someone randomly.
I don't want to punch anybody. I want to get the shit together. But I would like to come back, but I'm not going to come back.
Nah, not gonna do it.
I'm going to sit back at home and I'm going to read the reviews of the cons coming up, and I bet you it's going to be a bunch of negative reviews.
And I bet you'll look them up.
I will. We're going to definitely stay on top of this. And the website is geekyanswers.net for everyone listening in and for you folks here. I appreciate your time. Really good conversation. I'm getting chills because I know the feeling. It's like, man.
I'm frustrated. There's a lot of people that are frustrated. Most of the people that we've actually spoken to, same sentiment. They're frustrated.
Do you feel that's the consensus right now?
Yeah, I think so. The general consensus. Yeah.
All right.
People last night, and they're like disappointed.
The body language, I notice people leaving as they're leaving, like coming in, they're excited, and they're leaving, and everybody seems like kind of like, meh.
You should come out euphoric. People are coming out feeling let down. That's not good. I don't know who's responsible for it. I don't know if Eric and James have anything to do with it. Somebody needs to get it together. And I don't want to be told on a Walker Stalker Con, if you don't like it, then don't come.
I hate that answer. That's such a terrible answer. There's always room for opportunity, even if you have it right. That's just mean. But
that's not how you treat people. You know, we spent $3,000 here in under 40 hours last year. I don't even know how much we spent this year. I don't want to know.
Yeah,
they're not getting our money.
Next year.
We're not the only ones who said we're not coming back. So they keep telling people, if you don't like it, don't come. There's going to be a lot of people who don't come. I don't want to be told that. That's not how you treat people.
That's not the answer. The answer should be, how can we make this better? What can we do for you?
Yeah.
How can we make this right? So, good thoughts there. Let me see if anyone else wants to chime in. Thank you again, April. That's really good thoughts. And now I feel I was already thinking about writing this piece, and now I'm like, yeah, I think this needs to happen so we get discussion going.
I've already been told that there's a bunch of
bad press.
Yeah, I guess on Facebook, because our friend was looking it up last night after we left, so there are already negative reviews. They're already out there from Friday and from Saturday. So it's going to be interesting to me to go home this week and to start following it and see what other people's experiences are, because we're not the only ones that feel this way. We're not. There are a lot of disappointed people. You know, I was hoping this could be like our new thing to come to every year. I'm not going to do it again. Not going to do it, which is unfortunate. You know?
It'll be in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we're going to get to a smaller. We're going to get a horror realm in Pittsburgh instead again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, smaller conventions.
It's cold.
Smaller conventions seem like they're a little better because, you know, more tightly knit.
This didn't have to be like this. Even as big as it is, if it had been better planned and organized, it wouldn't have been like this. Yeah, they could have had twice as many people here.
And made twice as much.
But it's about the organization.
You know, and I feel also with the economics of it, if you charge less, there's more value, and you make more off of more people instead of charging a lot off of
willing
one.
To spend.
Right.
Yeah. You know, if you cut back just a little bit here and there, you know, all that cutting back adds up to the consumer's pocket. And they'll be more likely to spend more freely. But when you bring people in, you're like, all right, $800 for this, $200 for this. We're going to get you in, we're going to get you out in under 2 seconds. It's a cattle call. And I feel like they just bent everybody over. I'm not going to go through it again. And it's disappointing for me. Because I'm a huge fan. I love these things. I love the cons. they got a lot of work to do before I come back again.
Even some of the vendors have complained. I won't mention any names, but
people that are actually with the con have complained. We heard them talking amongst themselves yesterday. They're frustrated. That's got to tell you something.
we have some pitchforks coming soon here, folks.
I don't want to pitchfork anybody. I just want them to get it together so in the future I can join in again. But I'm not going to join in next year.
Well,
Walk around talking to people like us.
yeah, I'm going to see who else wants to talk.
He's frustrated.
Yeah, let me see. This is one of the vendors here. You want to chat real quick?
Where's our lanyards at?
Did you want to comment anything on the record?
Not really.
It's all right, man. I understand. But
I really got anything positive to say.
okay. I like that. If it ain't good, don't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Because the show is popular and they get as much money as possible and really charge it here.
Well, let me ask you one quick question. You don't have to say your name or anything, but as a vendor, all right,